Donald Trump's physical and mental health could not be worse at this moment. And I say that knowing that, of course, it continues to get worse. But according to a leading public health expert, we should all be worried about what is happening with Donald Trump. Not just the cognitive part either, the physical part for those that are concerned about his physical well-being. That's not doing so great either. One of the things that I have noticed, this was not pointed out by Dr. Vin Gupta, who recently spoke to Meidas Touch. I will tell you what he said in a second. But one of the things I noticed, and this has been very prevalent over the last couple days especially, is that every time Donald Trump addresses reporters, does, any kind of press thing, he's always sitting down. I mean, just in the last, since Thanksgiving, there have been 3 separate times where Donald Trump has spoken to the press, spoken to the public, whatever it is, and he's always sitting down. And if you go back and look at all of these events Trump has done in the last 2 months, he's sitting down. Go back to his first term, the only time he ever did that was when he was, signing executive orders. He does it 100% of the time now because his body cannot make it. He cannot stand up long enough to even talk to reporters. So let me get to what Dr. Vin Gupta said, and I will do that in just a moment, but first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. By now, you know Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, but almost no one's reporting how ICE will get nearly $40 billion of our tax money each year, making it the most heavily funded law enforcement agency in U.S. history. That's more money than most nations spend on their entire military. So much of our media is either missing the worst of this bill or twisting the language so you think it's all in your best interest. But we've seen the ICE raids ramping up. Now Trump's openly threatening to deport U.S. citizens. This should be the biggest story in America, yet it's buried. Making ground news essential right now is what all of this is doing. They're the only tool I've found exposing these blind spots in the media. By gathering the world's news in one place, organizing it by story, then analyzing just how far-right and radical each unbiased source actually is, you get way more context than you ever would anywhere else. If we're being honest, we've seen Trump's power grabs throughout history. They said never again, and that means never again everywhere. And right now, it's happening here. So if you want to stay ahead on immigration, the economy, or simply finding the stories missing from your news feeds, Ground News has you covered. Their app and website is a smarter, more reliable way to stay informed at a time when MAGA is banking on us to stay distracted. So I've partnered with them to get you 40% off the same Vantage plan that I have been using. That comes out to $5 a month for unlimited access to everything I've mentioned and so much more. Just go to ground.news/Farron or scan the QR code to subscribe. With at least another 4 years of this, we can't afford to miss these details. So Dr. Vin Gupta, again, he's a leading public health doctor. He used to be the chief medical officer at Amazon. He recently spoke to the Meidas Touch podcast, and this is what he said about Trump's failing health. Clearly, they're not getting MRIs just because that's just the moment that we live in. There's a reason, and they're worried. Talking about Trump's doctors. Frankly, piecing this all together, there's a reason to be worried based on his public performance. It is clear there is age-related cognitive decline. That's obvious. His response to somebody fainting in the Oval Office conveyed that. He didn't show any signs of concern. He didn't really do anything. He was slow to respond, and that slowness and fatigue you're seeing more and more in his public events. Imagine if President Joe Biden did any of those things. He did a fraction of it from what I saw in the lead up to the 2024 election, and people forced him out of the race. You're not seeing that level of scrutiny until now. Maybe you're starting to see signs of it. But you're not seeing it anywhere to the degree that we saw with Biden. The coverage of it, the analysis of it, doesn't even compare. But I love that point that he brought up. Biden had one really, really bad debate that showed off his cognitive decline, absolutely. But after everybody saw that, they were like, nope, we're done, get him out. Some of us had, of course, been pointing out his, slowing prior to that, obviously, for a couple years. But his first year, everything seemed okay. It was after that, it started to get a little slower. And then, of course, that debate in the summer of 2024 sealed the deal. But there was talk long before that. With Trump, his cognitive decline is clearly showing, not even a full year into his second term. His physical decline is 1,000 times worse than anything we saw with Biden. Biden stumbled going up and down steps a couple times. Trump can't walk in a straight line. He can't stand up for extended periods of time anymore. Trump's physical health is far worse than Biden when he left office. And that was Trump coming into office was already worse. But the mental part, the cognitive decline, Dr. Gupta is right. We should all be worried. This is the man that is launching a ground invasion of a non-hostile country, Venezuela. This is a man who has the nuclear codes in his pockets at all times. He could launch a nuclear strike and we can't stop him. And with this cognitive decline, with the anger issues that we are seeing related to potential dementia, that's a real possibility. We can't trust his brain. We can't trust his, neurological, his psychological. We can't trust any part of it. And this man is calling the shots. This man is wrecking the economy. This man can do virtually whatever the hell he wants thanks to the Supreme Court. And we're just supposed to sit there with this guy whose brain is nothing but moldy mashed potatoes and act like this is okay. The media, for the most part, is acting like this is okay. This is normal. None of this is normal. And that's the point, and that's why I talk about it so relentlessly. This is not something that can be ignored. This is not something that anybody should be ignoring. This should be the big story every day until that man is removed using the 25th Amendment. Scientists recently discovered a new evolutionary trait in puppies, and it's that they cannot grow up and reach their full potential unless you subscribe to this channel. Don't do it for me, folks. Do it for little Atlas and Judge here. Good boys. You do good. You want to say something? No? Okay.